Welcome to Wipf and Stock's instructional video series. In this video, I will illustrate how to annotate the PDF of your typeset pages. For more information, please refer to the annotations instructions sent with your PDF. Please note that I am using Adobe Reader 2015 for the Mac. You may be using a different version, so some of the menus may appear differently. Keep in mind, these changes will not be reviewed by an editor or copy editor. When you make changes, be careful. This is a last opportunity to correct spelling, punctuation, or incorrect critical information. This is not an opportunity to modify the content of your book. Let's dive in. So there's multiple tools. You can see I have this big long bar. And it allows us to have multiple tools, but there's only a few that actually are useful for the purposes that we are wanting to do this. It's these four tools right here. The first tool is Insert Text at Cursor. Add Note to replace text, Strike through text, and Add Note to text. They all have slightly different functions, so let me walk you through them each. Let's say we're looking at this phrase here, and we don't like that we use this conjunction. So instead we're going to highlight this apostrophe because that's what we want to delete. Now this strike through text functions as a delete, but we don't want to do that because we're not simply deleting it, we're also adding text. So instead we want to use add note to replace text. So click that and a little pop-up should appear. And in this pop-up we want to illustrate what we're doing. Now keep in mind this is a literal character for character replacement. So if you put, let's say that you put a U in there, because we want it to say let us. It's going to replace that apostrophe with U. But keep in mind, it's not going to automatically add a space. So you have to do that for it. So now, with this space and a U, it will say let us continue. Now let's take a look at this for if an earthly king. It's a great phrase, but let's add something else. We want to say for if only an earthly king. In this case, we're going to insert text at the cursor. And let's add only. Now again, it's a character for character change, so keep in mind, if we don't add a space there, only and an will be smashed together. So we have to make sure we have a space for if only an earthly king. So let's take a look at this phrase. Let's say, well, here we also make no account. Well, we is kind of redundant. We already understand that it's we. So let's select this, but keep in mind, again, we have to delete this space because if we don't, a space here and a space here will continue to show. So make sure we delete that space. Now since we're not replacing it with any text, we simply want to delete this we. We're going to use this delete. This strike through, sometimes it says delete. Now there's one other thing that happens often, which is wanting to italicize or wanting to modify the formatting of some content. It's pretty simple. All you simply do is select the information you want to modify, and let's say that we want to italicize utterance and thought. Instead of using these three tools, we're going to use this one, add note to text. So what it'll do is it'll highlight the text and give you a place to say what you want to do. Now there's times when we've seen authors say add italics or italicize or something like that. We don't need you to add extra content, we just simply need you to write italics or italicize. Same thing with these changes up here. We don't want to say add you. Again, it's a literal character for character change. If you said add you, it would then say let add us continue. It's a literal character for character change. Now you can see down here that the typesetter forgot to do a couple things. Maybe it wasn't tagged and he missed it. Maybe it was simply overlooked. Sometimes this happens. What we want you to do here is to make a note that this is an A heading. So we use that same add note to text tool. Click this and simply write A heading. That's all you need to do. Now our house style is to leave this flush with the left after an A heading. So we would highlight this and simply write no indent. And that'll tell the typesetter to shift it back over. Keep in mind the two things. Do not add extra text to your note that doesn't need to be there, such as add or replace or change. And also make sure that you are adding or deleting spaces as necessary. Otherwise, we won't be able to, it's a character for character change, and so it has to be just those characters you want to be inserted or removed from the text. Again, if you have any more questions, please contact your typesetter and they will walk you through what else might need to be done.